Welcome to Tech Talk here on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. I'm Greg Rhodes here with David Leavitt, president and founder of Refresh Computer Superstore, and technician Adam Littlefield. You can contact the Refresh Computer Superstore by calling their free tech support hotline at 407-478-8200. Or go ahead and leave an open mic inside the WDBO app if you have any other questions. You can also check out the website at refreshcomputers.net or stop it at the Refresh Computer Superstore in Longwood at 820 East State Road 434, just 3.5 miles east of I-4 in Longwood. Store hours are Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., and if you're listening to the show here on Saturday, that means you still have time to stop by. They'll be open until 7 p.m. today. And now, David Leavitt and Adam Littlefield.
All right. Thank you, Greg, and thank you, everybody, for listening to yet another edition of Tech Talk with Refresh Computers. So very happy to be with you on this Saturday. If you're listening on Saturday, the show repeats on Sundays between 8 and 9 a.m., so happy to know you're listening if you're hearing me at that point in time. So today, Adam, we're going to talk a little bit about Windows 10 and Windows 11 again. I mean, we can't, beat this bush enough. I mean, because right now in the month of August in Florida is the best month it's ever going to be to go ahead and get that computer upgraded to a Windows 11 machine. Yeah. Because there's no sales tax.
Yeah, that's a major thing we've got going on right now is sales tax has entirely been cut across the board for laptops, desktops, for accessories, just almost anything we can really think of right now.
Anything that's most things, not anything, but most things computer or desktop or laptop or desktop related. If it plugs into the computer or laptop, it's tax-free. Yeah. So that's a good way, I guess, to put it. So that would be, webcams, that would be, keyboards, mice, wireless mice and keyboards. All those accessories also are tax-free this month, the entire month of August. So usually when Florida does this sales tax holiday for schools, it's a week. Yeah. Maybe 2 weeks, I think, was the longest it's ever been. Yeah. But this year they decided to do the whole month. So, Florida is, their coffers are full. Let's just put it that way. So great job, Governor DeSantis, for steering that big ship. So, we're not in debt. Florida's a debt-free state, and, we actually have a surplus of money. And so that helped enable the legislature to go ahead and pass legislation to allow for the whole month of August to be sales tax free, and I just couldn't be happier about that. So, now they need to move on to real estate taxes and get those, because you never own your home, right?
As I'm trying to buy a new one, I wouldn't mind that passing here pretty soon, right?
And not just for primary residence, but for any home you own, whether it's a rental or your own house, the real estate taxes, especially in Seminole County. You know what? Not to get off on a tangent here too much, because I'll just mention this and just slide into more tech stuff. They just passed a higher percentage of property taxes in Seminole County. They added 5 cents a gallon to your fuel tax, so it went from 7 cents a gallon to 12 cents a gallon that you're paying in Seminole County now, and they increased your utility taxes 150%. All that, and I'm telling you what, there's we need Doge right there in Seminole County. I'm working on a little bit of that stuff myself, but back to Refresh Computer stuff. So, Adam. Yeah. So there's a lot of computers that can still upgrade.
There are, yes. If I remember correctly, I think the metric I saw officially from Microsoft, they said that about 60% of Windows computers right now can upgrade to Windows 11, but you're leaving 40% in the world that can't upgrade. And we're talking millions of computers that are in that 40%.
Hundreds of millions.
Exactly.
Hundreds of millions of computers. And so if you're not sure if your computer is upgradable, what can they do?
They can give us a call.
That's right.
407-478-8200. We'll ask you just some simple questions over the phone. We'll guide you through where to get the information we're asking for. We can pretty much tell you right then and there if your computer is going to be good for 11, or maybe if it's time to upgrade. Because if there's a better time to do it, now is the time.
Well, true. And so that's yet another feature of the free tech support hotline. We've had that free tech support hotline for many, many years now. We've helped tens of thousands of people with their computer issues that never cost them a dime. So that number again is 407-478-8200. You might want to write that number down, put it on something and stick it on the side of your computer, underneath your laptop somewhere. So you may not need it now, but when you do need it, you'll have it handy.
Exactly.
407-478-8200. If you buy a computer from us, we have a little sticker that we put on every computer, every laptop, every monitor with that free tech support hotline phone number. So you won't have to be, looking for, how to get a hold of us. If you need something in a pinch, it's right there on the label that we put on every machine that leaves our store.
Yeah, the main thing with Windows 10 right now that with it going away is you're going to be losing supports in October. You're losing specifically your updates, your security updates.
Which are the most important thing.
Exactly. So what does that mean? Every computer, every Windows computer, Windows 10, Windows 11, they have what's called Windows Defender. It's your built-in antivirus that scans the system and keeps you protected while you're on the internet.
Not the best antivirus, but better than nothing.
I was going to say, it's definitely better than nothing. So with Windows Defender, when you stop receiving updates, you stop receiving security updates to Windows Defender, there could be something that releases in a month after Windows 10 loses support in October, and you're just kind of in the water. Well, your system doesn't receive the updates for those vulnerabilities.
Well, and I guarantee you there are hackers. We've said this, and it happens every time a Windows version expires.
Yeah.
There's a flood of hacker activity going on, getting into your system and doing things that Microsoft is not defending you anymore.
Right, because they're just waiting in the weeds. They know exactly what this vulnerability is, and they're hoping Windows doesn't recognize it before the end of the version, and then they strike.
Right, and so there's probably some vulnerabilities going on right now that they're just waiting. They're not doing anything about. Maybe Microsoft will catch them and fix them before then. But I guarantee you that when Windows 10 expires, the update expires in October, I guarantee you there are going to be hackers discovering new things that they can get into that Microsoft will no longer support, helping to prevent. And so if you're connected to the internet at all, you know what? If you're not connected to the internet, no big deal.
Yeah. There's nobody connected to your computer because you're not connected to the outside world.
You're fine. And so there's some places, like I know there's some auto repair shops, for example, that uses very specialized software and then have specialized equipment that's actually physically connected to the computer. And in a lot of these cases, they are dependent on and built for Windows 10. So the manufacturers of this equipment are building it. They make their software compatible with Windows 10. So when Windows 11 comes along, in order to continue using that very expensive software and equipment in these auto repair shops and everywhere, dentists, doctors' offices, all over the place, that there's the situation, they will, if you're not connected to the internet, it doesn't matter. But if you connect to the internet, you're going to have to upgrade. So you have to pay, in some cases, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment connected to that Windows 10 computer.
And back in the day, they used to maybe even send you an update via CD-ROM or something in the mail that you could use. But
back in the day.
So many computers anymore don't have those kind of accessible drives, and I don't think they're going to send a flash drive to you in the mail with that update.
That's right. So if you're one of these shops or one of these places that don't connect to the internet, and you don't want to upgrade, several $100,000, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment, then you're still going to be fine as long as you're not connected to the internet.
Yeah, and that's the major thing, too, is I know specifically with Windows XP now, Windows XP, what was that, 20 years ago now?
Yeah, seems like yesterday for me, but
when support of that was dropped, I think maybe like 10 years ago, if I remember correctly. I don't remember the exact date, but now with Windows XP, today, if you have a Windows XP machine connected to the internet, pretty much within 30 minutes, somebody can connect to that and it's offline. And they can take control of everything that was on that computer.
Yeah, because Microsoft hasn't supported it in many years.
Yeah.
So, how do we know that, Adam? Because we have people coming into the store
well,
that issue.
I've seen XP, I've seen Vista coming in. There are so many different versions that have so many vulnerabilities, and now Windows 10 is unfortunately going to become another one of those. Microsoft always used to say Windows 10 will be the last Windows we ever release. It will be the forever Windows.
The last numbered Windows.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then now we have Windows 11.
Yep.
Which, very, very clearly showed that they weren't ready for what they were saying.
Hey, so when is Windows 11 going to expire?
We don't have a date on that yet. And
we don't because Microsoft doesn't.
Exactly. And I'm kind of hoping we don't have a expiration date on 11. I hope 11 becomes what 10 was supposed to be. It would make everything so much simpler.
Just Windows.
Yeah. Just Windows.
Just Windows. But so if you have a Windows 11 machine, whether you buy one from Refresh Computers or anywhere else, you're going to be good for many years to come.
Yeah.
Because typically when Microsoft announces the end date of a particular run of Windows, they don't say, okay, starting next week or next year. It's several years in the future that they say it's going to expire. But they haven't even announced that. So we don't even know. They're probably going to wait till after Windows 10 expires before they even get into that. I don't know. But, just a caveat, anything is possible, right, with Microsoft. Sometimes they'll surprise us. Yeah. But
they are their own entity. They can do whatever they want to do with Windows. We can only sit here and just say what we hope they will do.
Right.
Because there's people just everywhere around the world that wants to be heard. I want Microsoft to do this. I want Microsoft to do that. They take the mass of whatever everybody kind of wants, but also kind of what they want to do.
Right. Yeah, no, you've got to be able to protect that at the same time. Just because everybody wants it doesn't mean it's the right thing to do for their operating system. So,
exactly.
Now, I know a lot of people will be concerned, what are going to be some of the visual differences when you access that new computer when you've now got Windows 11 on it? How different is it going to be from what we've used from Windows 10?
And it looks a little different, but not too much. But there is a mode that we can actually help you set in Windows 11 to make it look suspiciously like Windows 10. But it's Windows 11. So, and if you're one of the users out there that are just hardcore, I don't want to upgrade. If you're going to connect to the internet, unfortunately, you're going to have to.
Yeah.
Come October, and we can make it as painless as possible for you. It's really already a fairly painless upgrade to Windows 11, and I can't emphasize enough. Your computer may already be eligible for Windows 11, and it's a free upgrade right now. We've seen Microsoft do this between Windows 8 and Windows 10, where Windows 10 upgrade was a free upgrade, but then they started charging for it.
Yeah.
So, that could happen. It may not happen with Windows 11, but why take the chance? Call us at that toll-free number. That's toll-free too, I guess. It's local. From anywhere. Everything's toll-free these days in the continental U.S. anyway. There's that free tech support hotline, 407-478-8200, and we can let you know whether your machine is capable. We typically tell everybody, okay, it has to be at least an 8th generation processor. So around 2019,
around there. I think 2019 was kind of like the
cutoff.
Floor,
There's some 7th generations in 2019, some 8th generation.
Yep.
So around that age is the age of the computer that would most likely be upgradable for free to Windows 11. And if you feel like a little antsy about doing the upgrade yourself, bring it on in. There's a fee for us to do that, right, Adam? What do we charge?
I believe so. I think we're charging $45, depending on the age of the machine. Yeah, so, I know it's a little different based on older machines, but
so we can upgrade it for you and make sure the drivers are all updated and all that stuff. For that, it's a nominal fee, but something we have to charge because we're taking time,
our time and our effort, exactly.
And so we love to help you with that. But again, I just can't emphasize enough. Give us a call. We can probably help you over the phone for free.
And if your computer can't upgrade, remember this is the tax-free season right now, the whole month of August. If there is never a better time to upgrade, it is right now to do that.
Absolutely is. And we have hundreds of computers, hundreds of laptops. We've been selling a ton. I was just telling Greg before the show here that the store's been probably as busy as a Black Friday, but for the whole month of August. It's just been crazy. But don't let that deter you. I anticipated being very busy because I knew this was coming, so I stocked up like crazy. So go to the website at refreshcomputers.net, where you can also see all the inventory that we have that we're talking about. And right now, if you buy online, it's tax-free. Not if you're a business, though. I'll throw that out there. If it's under a business name, it's not tax-free. This is for personal use.
Now that they're stacked up, I'm excited to hear the deals segment coming up here in just a little bit later in the show. You've been listening to Tech Talk here on WDBO, 107.3 FM and AM 580. Hey there, and welcome back to Tech Talk here on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. I'm Greg Rhodes, sitting here with David Leavitt, president and founder of Refresh Computer Superstore, and technician Adam Littlefield. You can contact the Refresh Computer Superstore by calling their free tech support hotline at 407-478-8200, or go and leave an open mic inside the WDBO app with any other questions you may have. And now, back to David and Adam.
Hey, thanks everybody for listening to Tech Talk with Refresh Computers. In the previous segment, we talked about the importance of upgrading from Windows 10 to Windows 11 if you haven't done so already, and also why now is the best time to do that if you have to buy a new machine, because in Florida it is the sales tax holiday for back to school, and if you buy it for personal use, there's no sales tax added to the purchase of any computer or any laptop. So you can go to refreshcomputers.net right now, and you can see the vast inventory we have, such a big selection, in spite of the fact we've probably been busier than, as busy as a Black Friday almost the whole month of August because of the influx of purchases. For the two things that are combining to cause such a surge for us is the fact that there's no sales tax and the fact that, hey, you got to upgrade to Windows 11 eventually, so might as well do it now while you don't have to pay the sales tax. So another thing that I wanted to talk a little bit about is how important is it not only upgrading from Windows 10 to Windows 11, but keeping all your technology and personal devices upgraded, right, Adam, to the latest operating system that you can for each one of those devices. Everything has your iPhone, your iPads, Google devices, Chrome devices. They all have security updates all the time. And when we used to recommend to people, wait, don't be the first one to do an upgrade when it's available. Because we don't want you to be the guinea pig. Well, we've 180 degrees flipped on that in the last few years because we have to, because now it's essential that you do the update as soon as possible, because more times than not, it's a security update. It's a flaw that they found, and they're fixing it. So you need to apply the fix to your device, whether it's an iPhone, a computer, or anything connecting to the internet. So
I'm glad that you brought up keeping up to date with your technology, because I did want to hear what you guys think of this. So recently, AOL, which I'm sure you've all heard of, but haven't heard too much of recently, I'd say, they recently announced that after 35 years, they're now finally discontinuing their dial-up service. So there are still people with dial-up. They're ending it on September 30th. According to U.S. Census info, 163,000 households in the U.S. still had dial-up. So I just kind of wanted to hear what y'all's opinion was on AOL finally ending the game there.
Oh, man, and I'm hearing that modem connection. I'm hearing that right now as you're mentioning that. And I'm shocked that, that actually I didn't even know AOL was still providing dial-up.
Until crazy. They told me this story, I did not either.
It was just a shocker to me. And then to find out there's still 163,000 people with dial-up. And so they're going to, gosh, what's the fastest speed on dial-up right now? I don't know, but
I can't imagine.
Before my time to even know that information, I can tell you
56 kilobits was the last I remember as being the highest speed that you could use, upload and download. At least it was both ways.
Right. Yeah. Same either way.
Now we're
upload and download speed.
Now we're getting internet services that are, a gigabit, which is 1,000 megabytes, which is 1,000 kilobytes for 1 megabyte. You've got Starlink, which is now doing satellite for specifically like rural areas, which I imagine is where most of that dial-up is still going, is rural area.
Yeah. Well, in my new RV, I bought the mobile. We've talked about that before. The mobile Starlink. It's just awesome. I have an antenna permanently mounted on the top of the RV. I have internet service anywhere in the country. There's 500,000 square miles of territory in the U.S. that has no cell phone service. There's just no signal. And so even when you're traveling down these roads that, oh gosh, I'm going to lose my cell phone signal for a while, but not me. I have that.
You have Starlink,
mobile service, and it just works wonderfully. And I think that's around 300 megabits, which is pretty darn good. That's download speeds anyway. So if you're on AOL dial-up,
yeah, we'd love to hear about it. Go ahead and use that open mic feature inside the WDBO app if you can. I don't know if dial-up supports the the WDBO stream or not, but let us know. We'd love to hear about it. You've been listening to Tech Talk right here on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Hey there, and welcome to Tech Talk here on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. I'm Greg Rhodes here with David Leavitt, president and founder of Refresh Computer Superstore, and technician Adam Littlefield. And you can contact the Refresh Computer Superstore by calling their free tech support hotline at 407-478-8200. Or if you have any other questions, go ahead and leave an open mic inside the WDBO app. You can also check out the website over at refreshcomputers.net. Or stop at the Refresh Computer Superstore in Longwood at 820 East State Road 434, just 3.5 miles east of I-4 in Longwood. Store hours are Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And if you're listening to the show here on Saturday, it means you still have time to stop by. They'll be open until 7 p.m. today. And now, back to David and Adam.
All right, thanks, Greg, and thanks, everybody, for listening to Tech Talk with Refresh Computers. If you missed the previous segment, we talked a lot about Windows 10, Windows 11, AOL, dial-up, expiring at the end of September. If you want to rehash any of that, you can go to our website at refreshcomputers.net. You can click on that podcast link right there at the top of the page. You can hear this show in its entirety without commercials. It's about 41 minutes long in that format there on the website. If you want to know when we have uploaded the latest podcast, go to refreshcomputers.net. Down at the bottom of the homepage, you'll see a place to sign up for our newsletter, because everybody that signs up for the newsletter will get an email with a link to the podcast so that you'll be able to listen to it at your leisure. So this is our deals segment, and I'm going to turn it over to Adam because, Adam's going to be talking about all these great deals that we have going on, sales tax free.
Sales tax free, and Dave was plugging the website for our podcast, but our website also shows our live inventory. So all of these deals I'm going to go through right now, and we have hundreds and hundreds of other laptops available in the store right now that we just couldn't possibly fit into this segment. So if you're wondering what we have right now, you can view our website, refreshcomputers.net, and if you check out through the website, you can still redeem that tax free right now, as long as you're not a business. It does not apply to businesses. It's only personal use systems. So starting off here, we've got HP Chromebooks right now. These are little 11-inch laptops running Chrome OS. Those are coming in at $49.99 right now. And these are, just nice little machines that are easy to throw in a bag, just take with you wherever you go. They weigh almost nothing. They are really just light machines. They're good for just on the go, just you need a quick access onto a computer. That's what this would be used for. That's $49.99, and that's the price you'll pay out the door, too.
Quick, easy access to email, things like that. And Again, it's better than having a notebook. I love having a little Chromebook around with me.
So we also have the Lenovo ThinkPad X13. That's a 13-inch laptop. It comes with an i5 10th generation processor, so not too old at all. Brand new 256 gigabyte solid state drive. We put brand new solid state drives in all of our systems. That's one of the critical points of a computer, is that storage drive. If your storage drive fails, you lose everything that's on it. So we take the stress out of that. We replace it with a new one, so you don't have to worry about that. Windows 11 Pro on this machine for $299.99. And that is a super, super deal for this one. These ThinkPads, man, they go for what, about $1,000 brand new, I think?
Yeah, they're really nice little laptops.
Yeah.
I really love these.
And the ThinkPad is Lenovo's business class model. So these are they're built a little tougher than those ones you can get at the big box stores. So maybe you need something just a little bit larger. You want some more screen real estate. You want a full-size keyboard on the laptop. Well, we've got the Dell Latitude 3520 that'll fit right into that. It's a 15-inch laptop, so nice screen size on it. Comes with an i5 11th generation processor, so a nice powerful processor for this nice powerful machine. 16 gigabytes of RAM, and that brand new 256 gigabytes of solid state storage with Windows 11 Pro for $499.99. And this is actually one of my favorite laptops that we have right now. The body of it is just, it's nice and solid. There's nothing creaking about it. This is just one of my favorites that we've had, and I don't even know how many we have still of them.
I got a ton of these,
Yeah.
and so we still have some in stock. I mean, the Latitude 3520, and it's just a awesome 15-inch laptop. So you have the keypad. I think that one has a keypad.
Yeah, that one does have the keypad
on the side. So
you get that full-size keyboard on it.
In the brand new 256 gig solid state drive, don't forget that. These are professionally refurbished by us right there in Longwood at the Refresh Computer Superstore. So you're always going to get a good quality laptop or computer. And this is a great one, the Latitude 3520.
So maybe you need a system that can do just a little bit more. Maybe you need a touchscreen. You need a system that you can use like a tablet. We have the HP EliteBook X360. So X360, everybody knows the circle, 360 degrees. Well, the HP EliteBook can fold its screen back 360 degrees. So you can use it like a tablet.
And when you fold it, it disables the keyboard.
Yes.
So I know I've heard people concerned that, if I use it as a tablet, I'm afraid I might accidentally touch the bottom, as I'm holding it and touch the
Start
keys.
typing on the
type
backside.
stuff. But no, it just actually disables the keyboard as soon as you flip it all the way around. So you have just a tablet.
Yeah, and if you're used to using a tablet before, if you tap somewhere to type in, it'll bring up that on-screen keyboard. That's exactly what this system does when it flips over into that tablet mode. So it's a nice 13-inch 2-in-1 touchscreen laptop. Comes with an i7 11th generation processor, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and again, that brand new 256 gigabyte solid-state drive. Windows 11 Pro for $629.99. And that's, again, the price you're going to be paying out the door. This tax-free holiday, these prices that I'm listing here is what you're going to be walking out the door paying, so long if you don't want to get maybe one of our extended warranties that we have.
That's right,
Yeah.
which are available. And, one of the cool things about the EliteBook X360s that we got in this batch, Adam, they were like new. They were like barely used even. So there wasn't even a whole lot to refurbishing them except putting in the brand new solid state drive. So these are really nice for $629.99. These are easily over $1,000.
Yeah. Yeah, I know the EliteBook specifically. I've seen some brand new around $1,500, $1,600 before, which blows my mind for me personally to try to spend that much on a laptop. I wouldn't want to spend that much on a device just because I like my bang for my buck. And this system right here, this is absolutely what that is. $629.99 for an HP EliteBook X360. So maybe you have the need just for a desktop computer. You need something simple at home. You can just set on your desk, plug in your monitor, and you're just pretty much good to go. Well, we have the Dell Optiplex 3070. That comes with an i5 9th generation processor, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and 256 gigabytes of storage. And the Optiplex, this is the small form factor. So it's about 12 inches by 12 inches by about 4 inches in size. It's not too large at all, really.
The most popular size, I think.
It is, yeah. And this is an easy one that, you can set on your desk, lay it down, have it standing up. I've seen people underneath their desk before. It's something that's easy just to kind of tuck away and use. And we've got that for $269.99.
This is a super deal on a desktop, especially if you're a business that needs to replace a lot of your computers because, Windows 10 is expiring. This will work great in the warehouse. It'll work great in the office, of course.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of these in stock right now, too.
Yeah. And
so could be time to upgrade your whole office.
Yeah, and I'm glad you actually brought up a warehouse setting because these Optiplex systems, these are what's inside of ATMs. These are running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And, I know personally I can't remember the last time I've gone to an ATM and there be some sort of issue with it.
Right. And
so
these are just super machines.
Yeah.
And the reason is because I would say two major components in the Optiplex computers. There's the motherboard, a beefy, really good, strong components on the motherboard and the power supply.
Yeah, the power supply is one of the biggest things in computers that is susceptible just to prolonged heat.
Yeah.
That, I have seen power supplies fail before, and they stink when they do fail.
Well, and when you get the consumer grade computers, you can tell the difference, especially with both the motherboard and the power supply. In the consumer grade, the power supply is about half the size.
Yeah.
And is not heat resistant.
Exactly.
It's not, any of these things. But with these Dell Optiplex computers, they're made for places like warehouses and stuff like that. They can just be turned on, and we have users that haven't turned their computer off in many years.
Yeah.
Many years. The computer's always been on. And that's what these Optiplexes are made for. That's how strong they are. You can turn yours off, of course, and turn it back on as many times as you want. But just know that these are very sturdy machines that for $269 for a professionally refurbished machine that's going to last you the next 6 to 8 years, Not a bad deal at all.
It's really not, no. And, going into the next one here, we have the Dell Optiplex 7470. So this is actually an all-in-one unit. So it's got a 24-inch screen. The computer is built inside of that screen, so you don't have to worry about, what plug does my monitor take? What plugs does my tower have? This all-in-one simplifies it, so you've got a power cable, you plug in your keyboard and mouse, that's it. So this system, it's that all-in-one with a 24-inch screen, 16 gigabytes of RAM with 512 gigabytes of storage, Windows 11 Pro for just $349.99. And me personally, I would say just the little bit extra there, that's worth that simplicity. You don't have to worry about another cable failing or another piece failing.
Well, and it's, the monitor's built in, so, and it takes up a lot less space. So if you're space conscious, it's a nice, I know, in my home, we have a little area where we can put a computer and all that. And my wife was like, can you put one of the all-in-ones in there instead of all these wires everywhere and stuff like that? So, of course, that's what we have there. We actually use this machine at the house.
Well, hey, that's a good thing then. That attests to it. So we also have the Dell Optiplex 5070. It's a mid-tower, so this is it's a little larger than the small form factor. What would you say the dimensions are for the mid-tower?
It's probably going to be about 12 inches by about maybe 10 inches deep. And it's going to be about maybe 8 inches wide.
Okay, so yeah, it's not even too much larger than the small form factor Optiplex I just talked about. But this one, the 5070 mid-tower, comes with an i7 processor, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and 512 gigabytes of storage for $449.99. And this larger system, too, it does kind of give you some more options that you don't really get with a small form factor. The mid-tower, it's just got a lot more physical space for you to upgrade maybe your drives in. You want to put more drives in. I know I've seen before some of these mid-towers, some people have put a discrete graphics unit in it, so they have just a little bit of power that they need. This system can fit it, whereas, the small form factors, you have to have raccoon-like fingers sometimes to work inside of those things. So, and then say you just need a system that's got just some heavy lifting. Maybe you're doing some 3D work, maybe you're doing a little bit of blueprinting work, a little bit of CAD work. We have a Dell Precision 3431 system right now. That comes with an i7 processor in it. And the main thing with this one is it actually comes with an expanded video card in it, a graphics card. So this isn't a higher end graphics card, so you're not going to be able to do everything under the sun with it.
But it'll take up the 4 monitors.
Exactly. So you can expand up to 4 monitors with this. It'd be really good for like a trading computer. If you're a trader, this has a 512 gigabyte new solid state storage drive in it, so it's capable of very fast storage, processing everything. It'd be the perfect computer, really, for just anything that has multitasking. We've got that for $479.99 right now.
And Adam, earlier you mentioned the extended warranties.
Yes.
So tell everybody what the standard warranty is with any computer that you buy at Refresh Computers, a quality refurbished computer, and then talk a little bit about the extended warranties.
Yeah, so really with all of our systems, any of them that you buy, desktops or laptops, they come with a 90-day warranty on them that covers anything hardware related. So say you take it home, you're using it for a month, and all of a sudden just the screen doesn't want to turn on. Maybe it pops up and gives you an error. You can bring that by. If it's something hardware related, we can go through, get that covered underneath the warranty for you. And our extended warranties can actually be extended by up to 3 years. So you get 1, 2, or 3 years. And those are additional to your 90 days. So if you buy a 1-year warranty, you're actually getting 15 months that 1-year warranty.
Most places, when you buy a 1-year warranty or 2-year warranty or 3-year warranty, it replaces the existing warranty.
Yeah, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Normally, I think, I'm buying this device. There's a company warranty that's included in the price, And now other places will charge you for a warranty, and they just kind of silently take away that included one for your extended warranty.
So when you're buying a 1-year warranty, other places that have a 90-day warranty, you're really buying a 9-month warranty.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of a 12-month. But at Refresh Computers, like Adam said, you get 12 months on top of the 3 months.
Yes. That
a computer has a warranty for at Refresh Computers. So if you miss any of these deals, you can check them out at the website at refreshcomputers.net. You can go there. You can purchase right on the website. Yep. Right now, sales tax free, asserting that you're buying it for personal use. And you can select pick up in the store.
Yep.
And, we'll usually have it ready by the time you can get to the store, but we usually, ask you to wait, let us give you a call. We'll notify you when it's ready because most of these are ready right now, but sometimes it might need a little tweaking, or we might, we have such an influx of stock in the back room. We're waiting to do things like load Windows on.
Yeah. You can also grab upgrades on the website as well. Storage
That's right.
upgrades and RAM upgrades. We can get those put in for you just right there at the store.
And of course, you can use that same free tech support hotline to call and ask about any questions on a computer, which is 407-478-8200.
And stay tuned. We've got the Business Spotlight coming up right after the break. You've been listening to Tech Talk here on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Hey there, and welcome back to Tech Talk here on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. I'm Greg Rhodes here with David Leavitt, president and founder of Refresh Computer Superstore, and technician Adam Littlefield. You can contact the Refresh Computer Superstore by calling their free tech support hotline at 407-478-8200. You can also check out the website over at refreshcomputers.net. And now, back to David and Adam.
All right. Thanks again for listening to Tech Talk with Refresh Computers. This is one of our favorite segments, if not our favorite segment completely, which is the Business Spotlight. So we get to recognize some businesses who have recently done business at Refresh Computers. And, of course, these are all very well-run businesses and smart business owners.
Yeah.
Why, Adam?
Because they're upgrading to Windows 11.
And they're buying their computers where?
From Refresh Computers.
That's right. So kudos to all you folks out there that are businesses that work hard, because I know personally, obviously, how difficult it is to operate a business with all the different government regulations and different things that you got to pay attention to, and to do your business right. You have to do right things, and that's what we do at Refresh Computers by providing good quality services and good quality systems for all these businesses. So without further ado, I'm going to let Adam talk about some of these businesses that were here just this past week.
Yeah. So we had Wags to Riches. They had us come out to their business and perform some on-site diagnostics for both their computer and printer. I think we ended up finding out that their printer got zapped by lightning and it was time to replace it. So happy to at least give them an answer rather than guessing. We had A1 Tax. They had us clone some information from one of their old computers to a new one that they brought into us. And that's one of the many services we offer is moving data. We can do an entire clone or just do a simple file transfer from one system to another for just a nominal fee. But yeah, we had them come and do that. We also had Marketing Apparel, LLC. They purchased one of our Dell Precision 5820 towers. This is a large server tower, I believe. And they also bought a couple monitors to go with it. They also got a extended warranty with that system and purchased one of our mouse and keyboard combos, one of the wireless ones that we have. And these are nice professional Dell ones too. So they're new in the box, just ready to go with a couple batteries. We had Rubens Tires in Longwood. They purchased one of our Dell Optiplex 3070 systems to replace one of their Windows 10 machines that was being aged out.
Yeah, and I know Ruben over there at Rubens Tires, and that's a couple hot bays he has in there where so he needs a good computer that's going to last in the heat like he has out there. So thank you, Ruben, for that.
We had WRB Corp Financial Services, LLC. They purchased one of our Dell Pro Wireless mouse and keyboard combos, one of the ones I was just mentioning just a couple seconds ago. We also had Experimental Aircraft Association, Chapter 34. They purchased one of our custom gaming computers, and they got a 3-year extended warranty on that system as well. I think we had that system for a total of 1 day in the store, and somebody already bought it.
Yep.
We also had Avanza Business Solutions, Inc. They purchased a few different Ethernet cables. I believe they were doing some networking runs in one of their offices, as well as a couple Dell 22-inch monitors from us. We have all different size monitors, 20, 22, 24-inch.
And all the different cables that you can think of.
Exactly,
Ethernet cables, computer cables, all kinds of adapter cables, video cables. So they're all there for you at the Refresh Computer Superstore in Longwood.
Yeah. We also had Northside Missionary Baptist Church. They came by and purchased 4 of those Dell Optiplex 3070 systems. And like Dave was just saying, they also purchased a couple of our monitor adapter cables.
Well, it's important to note because, there's at least 4 different types of connections now for monitors. You have VGA, you have DVI, you have DisplayPort, you have HDMI, and okay, let's add a 5th. There's mini DisplayPort as well.
Yeah, there's no standard one plug for monitors.
There's a 6th one, USB-C.
Just about to say USB-C making a run for it now.
That's right. Is also used for monitors now. And so if you buy a computer at Refresh Computers, just keep your monitor, and if you have to buy a cable to adapt to the new computer to your monitor, we have the cable right there at Refresh Computers. All right, well, that's all we have time for, folks. We appreciate you listening to Tech Talk with Refresh Computers. Don't forget the podcast. Go to refreshcomputers.net, click on that podcast link, and that free tech support hotline, 407-478-8200. We'll be talking to you again next week.